Hello students, welcome to Red Chicken Sanstha e-learning platform. Today we are going to learn from Standard 6 Mathematics, in which a topic name is Bank and Simple Interest. In previous video you have learned about the banks, the transactions and type of accounts. In this we are going to learn about what is principal and what is rate of interest. Firstly, we are going to learn about what is principal. A principal is the amount which is deposited in the bank or the money lent by a bank to a borrower. It's called the principal amount. For example, if you deposit rupees 5,000 to a bank, so your principal amount will be rupees 5,000. One more example I will give over here. If you borrow from someone rupees 10,000, then that rupees 10,000 is your principal amount. Now, what is rate of interest? Now, rate of interest is generally calculated on every 100 rupees. This rate of interest we usually call as PCPA, that is per cent per annum. This rate of interest is calculated on every 100 rupees for whole year, that is per annum, that is for one particular year. Now let us learn what do you mean by simple interest. Now whatever amount we deposit in a bank or we keep in the bank, on that amount, whatever extra money is charged or given is known as interest. For example, we can say if you deposited rupees 5,000 to a bank and the interest has been charged as 10%. So the extra 500 you will be getting at the end of the year. So total amount you will be getting as 5,500. 5,000 is your principal amount and 500 is your simple interest amount, which is calculated on a whole year at a certain percent. So simple interest is generally calculated on a whole year at a certain percent. This is usually calculated on whatever amount is deposited in a bank, or if we borrow from someone, then we have to give them a particular interest amount, whichever it is charged. Now let us learn first how to calculate the simple interest. Before that, let us understand what are the formulas for calculating the simple interest. Now for the formula for calculating the simple interest are P into R into N upon 100. Now what do you mean by P? P is a principal amount which is borrowed. R is a rate of interest, the interest percent which is calculated on whole year. N is a time period, for how many time period the amount is being deposited or lent upon 100. Now what's the next formula? The next formula is calculating the amount. What's amount? Amount is the total amount whichever we pays, which includes both principal plus interest. And for the calculating interest, only interest amount is calculated. So for calculating the amount, the formula will be amount equal to principal plus interest. This is the total amount which is received by a depositor. Let's see the next concept, that is how to solve the examples. Here the first question is, at the rate of 10 PCPA, that is percent per annum, what will be the interest for 1 year on rupees 6,000? Here we need to calculate interest on rupees 6,000 for 1 year which is be given, and the rate of interest is 10 PCPA. So what are the given things are principal 6,000, rate of interest 10 PCPA, and number of years, that is N, is 1 year. Now we'll put the interest formula, that is P into R into N upon 100. Now we'll substitute the values to the alphabets. P, that is 6,000, R it is 10, and N is 100 upon 100, and N is 1 upon 100. By calculating all the numbers, we get answer as interest 600. Therefore, interest 600 will be paid on rupees 6,000. Let's see second example. Here, Ahmed Chacha borrowed rupees 25,000 at 12 PCPA for a year. What amount will he have to return to the bank at the end of the year? Here, Ahmad Chacha has borrowed rupees 25,000. For example, we can say he has taken a loan of rupees 25,000 from a bank for interest of 12 PCPA for 1 year. So how much total amount with the principal amount he need to return to the bank? For whenever we need to calculate amount, first we need to always calculate the interest. So first we'll be writing whatever the given is, that is principal rupees 25,000, rate of interest 12 PCPA, time is 1 year. Now here we'll be putting the formula interest equal to P into R into N upon 100, 25,000 into 12 plus 1 upon 100. Here we have substituted the values against the alphabets, and again by calculating we got rupees 6,000 as an interest on rupees 25,000. This is the interest amount. We have to calculate what will be the total amount he have to return to the bank along with principal. So for that, I already told you all the formula will be amount equal to interest plus principal. So interest is 3,000. What we have get? Principal is 25,000. Therefore, the final answer will be 28,000. He had to return to the bank at the end of the year. Let's see one more example. Mahesh deposited rupees 8,650 in a bank at a rate of rupees 6 PCPA percent per annum. How much money will he get at the end of the year in all? Now here Mahesh has deposited some amount in the bank. You have been learned in the previous video that whenever we deposit any amount in bank, banks give us some kind of interest on that amount. So same year, he has deposited rupees 8,650 in a bank, and the bank will be giving 6% as an interest to the Mahesh. So what will be the total amount at the end of the year Mahesh will receive along with the interest and principal? So for that, every time, whatever, if the question is ask you for the interest or else for the amount, you have to always calculate first interest. So here again, first we'll be writing principal, which is rupees 8,650. Rate of interest, which is 6% per annum. Time is 1 year. So again, we'll put in the formula of interest. As I told you, whatever the question asks, you have to first always calculate interest. Interest equal to P into R into N upon 100. Now here P is 8,650, R is 6, N is 1 upon 100. Now again by calculating all the numbers, we will be getting the answer as rupees 519 as an interest on rupees 8,650. Now the total amount the Mahesh will be received from the bank will be calculated as principal plus interest. Now principal is 8,650 plus 590. So the final answer we'll be getting as 9,169. What will be the final answer? 9,169. As I told you before also, whatever the question I've asked, either interest or amount, always we have to calculate first interest, then put the formula of amount, we will be getting both the answers. Let's see the last example. Let's see the last example. Kisan Rao wanted to make a pond in his field. He borrowed rupees 35,250 from a bank at an interest rate of 6% per annum. How much interest will he have to pay to the bank at the end of the year? Now, Kisan Rao wanted to make a pond in his field. For this, he required amount. So he took a loan from a bank of rupees 35,250, for which he was charged as 6% per annum interest. So what will be the interest in rupees he have to pay at the end of the year? So again, first we'll be writing whatever which is given. Principal is rupees 35,250. Rate of interest is 6% per annum, and our time is 1 year. Now, how to calculate interest? That which is the formula, that is P into R into N upon 100. Now here P is principal 35,250. R is 6, that is rate of interest, and number of year is 1 upon 100. Again, by calculating all the numbers, we'll be getting answer as 2,115. That is Kisan Rao has to pay 2,150 as an interest on rupees 35,250 to a bank for the amount he borrowed. I hope so. All the concept of calculating the interest and amount is clear. Thank you so much.